Okay, so I'm testing. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can see the chat too. Let's kind of really pressing. Okay. I didn't mean to say that out loud. This is I'm downstairs in my basement because there's people upstairs, and I just felt it was slightly awkward to be talking to a camera, of course, as usual. And I'm doing my reading, so I'm just doing it in the basement today. So we've got a pretty bleak reading in front of us. Try to dig out information as it goes. So basically, the top row is the 10 of Pentacles. The 9 of Swords. The Queen of Swords. Seven of Wands. And I will start off by reading this top level as best I can. So basically, this card, the 10 of Pentacles, is, if you'll notice, this guy is really well off. Everything is kind of taken care of. He's kind of, really, well established. Everything is kind of stacked up. He's living in a very, good place for him, sort of thing. But if you'll notice, only the dogs are giving him attention. He's not really getting attention from anybody else except, the dogs. So this card usually tries to warn us about getting money for getting money's sake. Try not to surround yourself with so many material goods, and try not to kind of let the pursuit of comfort and the pursuit of establishing yourself get in the way of making emotional bonds with people, making lasting connections, and kind of for example, in regards to family, like doing the visits and making sure everybody's taken care of, that sort of thing, emotionally rather than materially. Because right now, as it stands, the material, as it's not kind of getting you, the attention or the recognition that you want. You're going about it the wrong way. This card, 9 of Swords, is awful. It's basically like and if you'll notice on the bed, there's somebody kind of backed into a corner, and there's somebody kind of like fighting them, and it's kind of representing the things like kind of that keep you up at night, that you're kind of that you feel kind of, the night terrors about, you kind of, it's going constantly through your head, constantly worrying, constantly like always, frustrated, always like it's upsetting you to the point where, like it's damaging you. But if you just kind of wait until the morning, you can see it in a different light. It's not stop stacking and stacking and stacking up things that you have no real control over in this current situation. Just kind of like you really have to learn to kind of just kind of let it flow a little bit, and that's I think these cards kind of work with is, and also the bottom row definitely 100% is if you'll notice, the Queen of Swords is wearing. She's very direct. She's very forward. She's very solid. She's on solid ground. Um, and she kind of, but her crown is a crown of butterflies. So she, and her robe is covered in clouds and things, and her her throne is covered in angels and higher beings, and she has a bird flying over her head. So she has, the information that she needs. She has, the power to kind of carry through with these things. She has the ability to kind of control her own situation, which is like in your, it's she or he. They have the ability to control the situation and very direct and very to the point, very kind of cut through the bullshit. But at the same time, in regards to the mind and in regards to your imagination is very good, but don't let it kind of butt heads with people. See, this person is fighting wands with wands. I mean, all of these I consider, differing opinions and different, perceptions and different ways of seeing things. And this person is kind of like fighting against other ideals or other, perceptions when really there's no fight there. So, like, you might be being too direct and too forward and too steadfast and too like this is the way things, that's the way we do it, this is the way things are going right now, and this is the result that I expect from it. But you're not going to get that result if you continue, if you don't make those, the social emotional, like the deeper connections. It's not always just about getting things completed or getting things done or getting things off of the table and on to the next one. It's more about going a little bit deeper with it and kind of taking time to kind of not get carried off in details, but allow yourself a little more leniency to dream a little bit more, and a little bit more leniency to kind of come from an inspiration perspective of like other people kind of giving. The second row is a new way of me reading. So the second row is kind of like solution to this row at this point. Um, and basically you have the Justice card. It's a very good card. The Sun card. The Death card. It's not picking up. Oh, there we go. Death card. And High Priestess. And so there's a lot. Okay, here. Okay, wait. Start from the beginning. Okay, so if you see these almost as mirrors of each other, you'll notice that in this card, this person knows what they're doing. They have a complete firm grip on what they're doing. They're very solid in their convictions, and they're able to kind of make those decisions for themselves. Same with the Justice card. It's really it's a strong card. You're able to make the proper decisions. Your decision making is not the problem. Very solid grasp on who you are. You have a very solid grasp on where you want to go, and how to get there. So, like, that's not a problem. The Justice card, though, if you'll notice, shows a little bit of the foot. And in tarot cards, I usually think of the foot as the soul, I suppose. And so this person allows a little bit of the soul to show through, even though he is a Justice card. I mean, he is a hard ass a little bit, but at the same time, he has that compassion, that ability to kind of, open up and see things from the other perspective. You'll notice nighttime mirrors the sun, which is very interesting. But the sun card is basically just returning to an innocent frame of mind and kind of just learning again how to play, how to connect with people on kind of a social level and kind of a a fun, have some fun. You know what I mean? And you can have fun in a deep way. You don't necessarily have to be shallowly just you know go karting and getting ice cream. You know what I mean? You can find sources of inspiration and find sources of play, um, and you should. In in that pursuit, I believe there would be the death card. You would There would be a release of some kind, or there would be some kind of a change, like a changing over. It's like maybe it's like a stubbornness that you're holding on to, or like maybe it's a matter of ego of some kind. We'll see when we get to the servants if they have any more insight there. But if you do kind of allow in the leniency bit and everything that I was talking about before, then you'll experience probably a very radical shift in your paradigm. And I believe it would benefit you by giving you extra and enhanced insight. I mean, the high priestess, she knows what the frig she's talking about. Also, she's almost the mirror of the justice card, just the feminine energies of the justice card. But where the justice card is the masculine, and he comes from the court of law. The high priestess deals with the spiritual law and nature and natural laws and the basics, fundamentals of things and intuition and that sort of thing. And I believe connecting with the deeper emotional side of yourself, or the deeper ability to have joy, you know what I mean, and play in your life will pay off by deepening your understanding and your intuition. So I will take these cards because these are the solution cards, and I will pair them with the servants, and we will say what the servants have to say, or see what they. Well, I'll say it too. Why not? Do my damn reading. You can't read it. I don't know who from there. Whoop. Don't do that. Who are you, though? Don't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom. Just joking. All right. The sun is over here. Yeah, that makes rather sense. Death is LOL. Justice is crud. I left chicken nuggets on the fucking counter, so they're probably. We're gonna look that up there. The opposer. That's interesting. I don't really know how to read the opposer, really. Okay, we. I guess if you read it like that, that makes much more sense. Okay, so you've got the levitator. You've got the protector. I can't do it really loudly, but I love making crumb noises. The healer on death, which is really funny. The healer mirrors death, and the opposer at the end. This little guy, I don't like him. Okay, so basically, though, it basically says the exact same thing. It basically gives a little bit more of a rounded kind of affirmation for me, kind of just to make sure that I am reading it right, the overall message. And it's, yeah. So basically, don't really 100% know what the levitator is all about. I've never read him before, and I've never looked him up yet. So I'm not going to bother because that's going to take a lot of time. From what I can see from this, it's basically with the protector underneath the sun and the nightmare cards, the ones that are whatever is stressing you out sort of thing, and that is like in the mind. If you protect your mind and you float yourself over the situations that you, instead of engaging in the ego situations, you float over them. You know what I mean? You just kind of get into the deeper understanding of things. Protect your mind. Protect your, overthinking. Don't do that. And then that will bring you onto the path of the healing, the regeneration of the death card. And your obstacles will end up being moot at the end. If you have the ability to do the advice, then the obstacles that you do face are going to be much less, or much it's going to be less of a shadow monster to deal with, you know what I mean, if you can just use the flashlight. So that's basically what I'm getting off of that. If that makes sense, let me know. If it helped in any way, let me know. And I hope you enjoyed your reading. And sorry for the weird camera angles and stuff like that, but had to be in the basement.